Cover Donald Trump. You're here. You're here for Donald Trump.
I'm here for Trump. He's back, folks.
This is very controversial because CNN done did it again. They did it for us.
Yeah.
They want Donald Trump to be president, and it's content.
Liberals.
For CNN's town.
What?
Liberals can never. I'm learning about, because I am a liberal. I am learning that liberals can never win in these situations. Every time CNN's like, we're gonna get him. We're gonna bring him on CNN.
No,
we're gonna get him.
I think they know. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
I think they know what they're doing. I think
Right.
CNN's like, no, Trump is content. We want the ratings. We want him to be president again.
Town hall with former President Donald Trump. I'm Caitlin Collins. Tonight, President Trump is here as he embarks on a campaign unlike any other in the history of U.S. presidential elections. Please welcome the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, former President Donald Trump. President Trump, thank you for your time here tonight. We got a great crowd here in New Hampshire, a lot of voters with a lot of questions about what your 2024 term would look like. Your first term ended with a deadly riot at the Capitol, and you still have not publicly acknowledged the 2020 election results. Why should Americans put you back in the White House?
Because we did fantastically. We got 12 million more votes than we had in, as you know, in 2016. I actually say we did far better in that election. Got the most that anybody's ever gotten as a sitting president of the United States. I think that when you look at that result and when you look at what happened during that election, unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. A lot of the people.
Dude, they
lost.
Stacked the room with his supporters, dude. They're laughing at him. Oh my god, this is so good. At this point, you know already that I take a very nihilistic approach to this sort of thing because I don't expect anything good from the media. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've given up on the media being like actually contentious. Oh my god, dude. It's crazy that they also basically like solidified Donald Trump as like the main guy by hosting this.
I mean,
because
like
if CNN is supposed to be the Democratic Party's like media operatives,
I'm telling you, DeSantis.
They
lost.
should be fucking hammering like some kind of division within the Republican Party's primaries.
DeSantis lost when he went after Disney.
Well, DeSantis lost when he went after Trump.
No, I mean he lost when he went after Disney.
But that too, for sure. No, I think DeSantis. Right? You're right, actually.
His entire base is on scooters right now at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, DeSantis going after Disney was definitely not a smart move. He thought that he could like culture war his way, and he fucked up. You can't culture war that hard. He culture warred too hard.
Like that's the most bipartisan place on the planet is Walt Disney World, right? Yeah. Liberals, leftists, actually not leftists. Liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World.
It's true.
Okay? Leftists don't like anything, all right? But they liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World, okay? Alike, okay?
Yeah, they're both right.
Leftists don't like Disney World because it's fun and everybody loves it, okay? That's why they don't like Walt Disney World.
It's true. Leftists do hate fun. Him talking about the election was stolen doesn't help him.
That doesn't help him at all.
It doesn't help him in his rallies. In this regard, though, he's gonna come across as like doing a good job defending himself against the unjustifiable attacks from the lying liberal media.
Yeah, maybe to his base, but to the average person, he sounds like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah,
and I'm talking the independent American voter.
It's not that he sounds like a lunatic.
Yeah,
he sounds like a loser.
Yeah.
He sounds like a sore loser.
A sore loser.
Everyone recognizes that, like, if you constantly talk about how hard you lost to Joe Biden, you automatically are making yourself look worse for no fucking reason.
Yeah. I want to bring in Scott Dustin from Concord. He works in insurance litigation. He's an undeclared voter. That's what they call independents here in New Hampshire, as you know. He did vote for you in 2020. Scott, what's your...
I'm curious if he's undeclared. Thank you, Mr.
No, they're New Hampshire. That's why. New Hampshire and Iowa are like this. They love behaving like people give a shit about them.
It's like my dad's an independent voter and he's voted Democrat for the last 40 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's like you claiming that you're an independent
I
voter.
re-registered to the Democratic Party.
You're such a pussy. You couldn't even hold out.
No, I couldn't hold out. I switched to the independent party after I lost faith, and then I re-registered.
Yeah, New Hampshire is like very libertarian. They want to be like Florida, but they're in the north, so they can't be too Florida. But it's one of those places. New Hampshire is so important. We're the first state to cast our vote, care about us. Yeah, exactly. Straight up. That's the whole point. That's why they don't even call them independent. They call them undeclared. We have a different name for it. Okay, got it, dude. It's fucking Iowa and New Hampshire are like the biggest dickheads. No one cares. Shut the fuck up.
Hi, President Trump. Welcome back to New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud
No, I think he's-
during your
I
run
think he's a
for
liberal.
president?
Yeah, unless I see election fraud. If I see election fraud, I think I have an obligation to say it. We should have voter ID. We should have one-day elections. We should have paper ballots instead of these mail-in votes. But the answer is yes, and I hope that it's going to be very straight up, because if it's going to be straight up, we're going to win the election.
So you will suspend talk to his question about the 2020 election on the campaign trail?
I guess we're going to just win. We're at a point now. We're getting so close. Let's just win it again and straighten out our country.
One other question on this.
Oh my God.
Look how happy they are, dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, CNN literally was just like, can we just, Mr. Trump, please take your cock out. We will suck it. Take your cock out.
Oh, look at that.
We're gonna fucking double hand it, dude. Oh my Lord, what a fucking, this is incredible. I love being an undecided New Hampshire voter in the room and going, fuck yeah, dude, my president. Yeah. To be fair, if I was in that room, I would react the same.
Oh, I know. You would totally.
I would be going crazy. I'm like, yeah!
You would have your MAGA hat on.
Yeah, I'd have the MAGA hat on. I'd be fucking flipping off who I think is a liberal.
The thing is, if you were at a Trump rally, you would be like excited to meet him and getting a picture with him and shaking his hand and taking a selfie.
Oh, yeah.
You would be so into it.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, yeah.
And you know what? I respect it, because why waste the fucking energy arguing and saying what everybody's always said? It's like obvious.
Well, it's not only that, but
It's
also,
obvious.
what am I supposed to do when CNN's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I own the Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Like, or I, from my Twitch stream, really owned Donald Trump with logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
Like, surely he won't become president when, like, the multi-billion-dollar institution is literally glazing him. Offered him a platform, glazed him up like a fucking Krispy Kreme donut. They're doing the most. Okay? So why not enjoy the ride? You know what I mean? So anyone that goes, oh man, this is really fucked up, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, it's CNN. They did this, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because they want Donald Trump to be the next president. How do your liberal parents look at the situation and not recognize the writing on the wall? That, like, mainstream media wants the
I guarantee
ratings.
you, if I call my mom, she will say that he got destroyed in this town hall.
No, I think your mom will probably be upset at CNN, too.
No.
I'm pretty sure liberals, like, are
No.
actually universally upset at CNN right now.
My dad, who's an independent voter, was talking to me about how Biden's done a great job.
It don't matter.
He said
This is the first time Donald Trump is back to his 2016 ways, dude, and he's fucking on point. He's on fire. He's in a room full of people that are giving him applause breaks.
My dad's
laughter.
in his late 60s, okay? I mean, give him a break, all right? He's a liberal through and through. And so is my grandfather. My grandfather had a countdown clock till George W. Bush was out of office. We got him for Christmas one year. He used to write. He hated Nixon. He used to write letters to Nixon.
That's awesome.
Because he didn't like the treatment of the Palestinian people. This is like back in the 70s or something. I'm Lebanese. I mean,
Stacking crowds with support.
He was Lebanese. He's Lebanese, so.
Look, my mom was mad at 60 Minutes for the MTG thing. She won't like this. Like, liberals were upset at 60 Minutes. Liberals are like picking up copies of manufacturing consent, dude. They're out here. They're fucking mad at libtard media not doing the job that it's supposed to do.
When you've talked about the 2020 election results in the past, you once suggested terminating the Constitution. Do you stand by those comments?
No. You were able to do certain things. I'm not talking about terminating the Constitution. I'm talking about cherishing the Constitution. The Constitution says that we're supposed to have legal and well-maintained and well-looked-at elections, and we didn't have that. I cherish our Constitution, but we have to live up to the Constitution. We weren't living up to the Constitution.
I mean, he's technically not wrong because our founding fathers did own a lot of slaves, and they kind of didn't want everybody to vote.
Oh,
So-
that's true. They did.
So
kinda do
technically,
that,
he's
yeah.
not wrong. Like, according to their vision of America, like Donald Trump, despite the fact that he's German and therefore swarthy, like his understanding of like what elections should look like, i.e., benefit the side that wants to maintain the racial imbalance that existed even back in those days, is closer to the founding fathers' understanding of how the government should run. Look no further than the Senate to recognize that there is a genuine imbalance built into the entire thing.
Let me tell you about the Constitution.
Tell us about the Constitution. What do you say? It. Say the line. This is an old school Austin trope.
Our founding fathers were ahead of their time, and they created a document that wasn't stuck in that time period.
No, what did you used to say? Did
It
you
was
forget?
living. It's a living, breathing document
Yes, he said
to
it.
be interpreted in the context of time.
Oh, he said it. Oh
It was
God,
ratified-
He's spitting. He's spitting.
In 1787,
He's spitting.
all right? And our forefathers understood that maybe 200 years later, we would have different problems that had to be dealt with differently than things were in 1787.
God, you are such a liberal.
And therefore, we have the ability to amend this Constitution.
damn, dude, damn straight.
Similarly, what we've done through time, right?
Hell yeah.
For now, I don't want to really burden anybody with what I'm talking about. Trump's time now.
Do you have any regrets about your actions on January 6th?
Nope.
Well, you know, January 6th was, again, we go back to it, but January 6th had to do with the fact that hundreds of thousands of people, and you don't see the pictures very often. A lot of the people here probably were there.
He can't help himself but be proud of the crowd that was there. How big the crowd was.
January 6th, it was the largest crowd I've ever
He can't help
spoken
it.
to. That was prior to the walk down to
He can't help
the
it. He
Capitol
can't help
building.
himself.
I don't think, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people. I've never spoken to a crowd as large as this.
He can't help
And that
it.
was because they thought the election was rigged. And they were there proud. They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable, and it was a beautiful day.
Oh my
And
God!
what I was asked to do, I wasn't involved in it very
Oh my
much.
God!
I was asked to come in. Would I make a speech? I made a speech. I said, walk peacefully and patriotically, you know, many different things. In fact, I brought a list of things. I don't want to bore the audience, but we can go sentence after sentence
Dude.
after sentence
We're gonna get
of
kicked out.
Sorry.
I can hear
things
you
I said
fucking
and things I
yelling
put
like
out.
a hyena too.
One of the big problems was that Nancy Pelosi, Crazy Nancy as I affectionately call her, Crazy Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington were in charge, as you know, of security. And they
They're
did
not in
not do
charge of
their
the
job.
National Guard. You're in charge of the
They
National
are in
Guard.
well, I offered them National Guard. I said, we'll give you soldiers, we'll give you National Guard, we'll give you whatever you want.
This is my favorite Trump argument, I think, or one of my favorite. There's so many good ones. It implies that Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest
Yeah.
that what also he simultaneously considers to be very peaceful. I don't understand it. Like, on the one hand, you started out by saying it was the largest crowd of peaceful Americans who love the United States of America. And then you immediately switch it around and say, and Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest because she didn't want the National Guard to do what? To stop the unrest? Is that what you're saying?
And also, he was the fucking president of the United States.
Yeah, as someone said, it's like the Schrodinger's riot, where it wasn't a riot, but it was also a riot. But if it was a riot, it was because of Nancy Pelosi. Like, it doesn't make sense. He said Pelosi created a beautiful day. It's a compliment. True. It was a beautiful day, January 6th. Thankfully, Nancy Pelosi didn't want the National Guard there because it was a beautiful day and it was not a riot.
When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out. So if you look at
CNN, by the way.
Oh, God.
Dude, I love this dude. Dude, listen. I don't want to hear from anybody ever again. Anytime anyone comes in here and says, Hasan, like, you're the reason why America is such and such. No, motherfucker. That's CNN, dog. That's their shit.
What
okay?
if the only reason he agreed to do the town hall is if he could put his supporters in the audience?
I mean, you don't have to do the town hall then. You can just do, nah, we're not going to cover this town hall. We're not going to give you a town hall.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. No, they did it because they're hungry. They're horny for ratings, and they, more importantly than that, want Donald Trump to be president. There's no doubt in my mind. There's zero doubt in my mind that CNN abso-fucking-lutely knows what Donald Trump is, knows what kind of a fucking media demon he is, and they absolutely want Donald Trump to be president.
Dude, I can't believe there's a fucking election next year.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ.
It's starting. The primaries are like upon us. You know what I mean?
Dude, the primaries are upon us. Wow, not only is CNN's ratings about to go through the roof, Hasan Abi's ratings are about to go through the ceiling.
Yeah, this is when everyone acts like they give a shit about politics. Well, it's an incumbent, so it's a little different.
I'm ready for the fucking debates. Are you kidding me? Remember? Am I gonna be on your debate covering squad again? Or
No.
have I been eliminated?
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I hired a new gay,
Oh, really?
George Santos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He's our new gay instead.
Okay. I see. Whatever.
I like that you're like kind of bitter. Like
Yeah.
it's very clearly a joke, but you still are
I mean, Hasan.
a little upset.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Being up there. I am asking, this is, and we didn't know.
He's so good. Oh, he's so good. He's so fucking good. Oh my god. Oh, dude, he's so back. This is Trump at his best. This is peak Trump, okay? Undefeated. It's just like, it doesn't get any better. He's out here. He's fucking quick on his feet. He's making jokes. He's shitting on the libs. He's owning them super hard. You could not have done a better job if you tried. Fox News couldn't prop up Donald Trump this way because Fox News doesn't have liberals, because a principle of being a reactionary is reacting, right? You have to react to progress. Someone who is like supposedly a vector for progressive values. CNN putting up their Tucker Carlson writer, Caitlin Collins, to play that role so perfectly is incredible. Fox News having Donald Trump on to do his tight five, they do it every night. He goes on Sean Hannity sucks him off. He goes on Mark Levin sucks him off. He's getting his dick sucked by Fox News anchors all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not that good. That doesn't get the job done. What gets the job done is when he's against a libtard that he is owning. This is literally better than what Fox News could ever put together. And CNN is playing the role perfectly.
Your commentary is no different than like a conservative pundit's commentary.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know. You just called her a libtard.
I mean, she's a libtard. But she's not. She's not even a libtard. She's like actually a conservative. Which, I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that she was. I didn't know she wrote for the Daily Caller.
Right.
Like that actually.
Today, as you know, was your vice president, Mike Pence, who says that you endangered his life on that day.
I don't think he was in any danger.
Mr. President, do you feel that you owe
Call
him
him
an
a pussy.
apology?
No, because he did something wrong. He should have put the votes back to the state legislatures, and I think we would have had a
So, dude, that's so good. That's so good. He's like, no, he deserves it. He deserves the death threats. He should have done it. He should have stopped the process. He should have stopped the steal.
This is signature Trump in great content, but I also don't think it bodes well for him.
No.
I don't think this is good for him. No, I don't think so.
He's owning.
It's good for his base.
I know, but
It's good for his
he's
base,
owning a
and that's it.
libtard. He's owning a libtard. That's all
I
that matters.
I don't think this is good for him. I really don't.
It doesn't matter. He's not looking. He's not looking pathetic.
He looks.
He's looking strong. If anything, people are just probably going to be like, yeah, whatever. He's just like he's petty, but he's just like pushing the same shit over and over again. But
see, I have some people agreeing with me in the chat.
okay, well, I guess I'm wrong then.
Yeah, you're absolutely wrong.
I've never disagreed.
This is
with
not. Look again to the and look. I called the last election. I'm going to call it again. This is appealing to maybe 35% of the country.
Yeah, it's a good base to have. Look, I'm not saying Donald Trump's going to beat Joe Biden. Okay, Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden already, but that was also right at the heels of COVID, and not at the heels of like sky high inflation with like real wage depression.
The economy is a big issue for Biden.
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that are hurting Joseph Robinette Biden right now.
But also, one thing I will say is by all metrics, the Democrats should have been absolutely slaughtered in the midterm elections.
It's true.
But for some reason, an act of God, all the preconceived notions of what should happen based on statistics and what we understand should happen based on what's happening with the economy seem to be different now.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was an act of God,
What do you think it was?
brother. I think it was
A rejection of MAGA Republicans.
it was them constantly talking about, like, one, the election being stolen,
Yeah.
and going crazy mode over it,
Yeah.
and two, like, they're like satanic, pedophile hunters
Roe.
who are constantly talking about
Roe v. Wade.
children's genitals, and Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade being the biggest one, of course.
Yep.
Ironic, because Donald Trump, if it was up to him, he would have tried to stop Roe v. Wade from getting eviscerated in the Supreme Court. Like, he's fine putting the Supreme Court justices in that position, but if you were to ask him, Donald Trump, dead ass, straight up, do you think the Supreme Court justices should, like, destroy Roe v. Wade? Like, in a private setting, obviously not in public. He would probably be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Of course not. Because it's always way better to dangle it in front of the evangelical base as a carrot, not to actually give them that. Because he knows how to read the room. So, the Republicans kind of fucked him up a little bit on that front. Or themselves, really. They're a victim of their own success.
Different outcome. I really do.
But he doesn't have the authority to do that, as you know.
What?
The vice president does not have the authority to reject
Are you
those,
ready? Let's
those
have this
elections.
one out just now, because it's interesting. Let's keep it interesting, right? I like Mike Pence very much. He's a very fine man. He's a very nice man. He made a mistake. His lawyer said, you cannot move. I called him the human conveyor belt. I said, even if the votes, I talked to his lawyer, even if the votes are absolutely fraudulent, he can't say, yes, sir, he can't send back. And the Democrats played it, and the rhinos played it. And then the election was over. They told him he couldn't do it. And Mike said to me, I can't do it. The lawyers told me I can't do it. They can't do it. But the lawyers were wrong, because right after the election, they all met, the rhinos and the Democrats, and they worked out a plan to make sure that future vice presidents don't do what I said you could do.
That's not what happened. You're referring to the Electoral Count Act.
That's
I've
exactly
read that. There is no authority.
No,
legal
excuse
experts,
me.
including Republican legal experts, say that he does not have that authority, Mr. President.
Caitlin,
But I want to
why
move
did they
on.
change the law then, saying that you can't do it?
They didn't change the law. They strengthened the law because they were worried about
Oh, they
presidents
strengthened it,
exploiting.
meaning you could do it.
That's not what it means.
Thank you.
Thank
They
you.
strengthened
Okay, you think that doesn't look strong?
Well, I'm a liberal, so
You think that doesn't look strong to independents?
no, because it's batshit crazy to think that the election was stolen. And
It
I think
is.
the average person.
It is, but they're not even talking about that at that point. Now they're talking about something entirely unrelated, even though it's totally related. They're talking about, like, minutia. When you get lost in the fucking minutia,
But
when you get lost in the sauce.
Is it a bad? It's batshit crazy to think that Mike Pence could have saved.
No, I agree with you.
But that's
I
what I'm
agree
saying.
with
That's
you.
why I don't
But
think
now,
this is-
but now
this is
he's
appealing.
winning on points. Like, he's winning.
I will be
he's
charitable.
winning-
I will tell you when I think he's winning on something.
He's winning talking points for no fucking reason. What you're supposed to do is lock him in to the main point of contention, which is, like, you sound like a sore loser. Make him sound like a sore loser. Now he is unnecessarily winning talking points against his interlocutor, who is a well-spoken and at least, like, kind of liberal presenting presenter. You know what I mean?
Mr. President, one of the
boy.
people
I
who
don't
was
think that helps
convicted
him, man.
was
I
a
really
former
don't.
policeman, but he was convicted
I
of
don't
attacking
think
a
that
police
helps
officer.
him,
I should
son.
know.
I really
But when you
don't.
said you are considering pardoning a large portion of those charged with crimes on January 6th, does that include the 4 Proud Boys members who were charged and convicted of seditious conspiracy?
I don't know. I'd have to look at their case, but I will say in Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial.
Dude, he's talking about the January 6th rioters that he's going to pardon. You only have this feeling because you have a preconceived notion, which is understandable. I do too. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to pardon them. They are unjustifiably in jail. But even to an independent, if they look at, like, the BLM riots, which, the media definitely fucking hammered on a similar narrative to Donald Trump, making it seem like, especially local media, made it seem like riots were out of control. They were everywhere. They were left. They were right. And, local business owners were getting murdered by these scary black people, right? He's saying, without actually saying, January 6th, they did something right, they should not deserve prison sentences. He's basically just saying, he's doing whataboutism. He's basically saying, like, well, the BLM Antifa thugs never got anything. Which is not even true, by the way. There were plenty of people that went to jail and took lengthy prison sentences during the Black Lives Matter protest, for the record. So it's not even true, but the media perception and the perception of the people due to the media coverage of the matter is that these people did not get any kind of harm whatsoever. He's just hyper focusing on the double standard. People love perceived hypocrisy. Oh my God, they love hypocrisy hunting. Like, he's doing a very good job of deflecting away from the main points of contention and conducting himself in a way that he did exactly like he did in 2016. In 2016, you probably watched Donald Trump and you were like, this guy's a goof. He's goofball. He's crazy. He's out of his mind. Now, he's doing the exact same shit he did in 2016. Now, of course, there are major disadvantages that Donald Trump has right now. Are you falling asleep?
No.
I just saw your eyes close.
I was blinking for a prolonged period of time.
Okay.
It's what I do when I think.
Okay, well, one major problem is that Donald Trump has been president.
Right.
So we know what that looked like. And, you know, it wasn't great for so much so that, like, people literally didn't vote for him. They voted, they either stayed home or they voted for Joe Biden. A lot of people voted for Trump, but a lot more people voted for Joe Brandon. So he lost already. So we know what this matchup looks like. So that's a huge hurdle that needs to clear. And unless he, like, shakes it up and, like, finds something new, you know, rehashing these old conversations and ultimately owning libtards in the marketplace of ideas might not actually take him over the finish line. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel there. So fear not. However, having said that, this certainly is improving his chances.
If anything,
for no reason.
As a voter, as an independent voter, I look at this and I say, you know, before he talked, you know, maybe I could see, oh, maybe Trump wasn't so bad. He's now reminding me of all the reasons why he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but you're a Democrat. You're a lifelong.
No, I'm an independent voter.
No, you're not. You're a lifelong Democrat.
I'm
you're
an independent voter.
Yeah, you're an independent like those guys are independents.
Well,
yeah, you guys are both independents.
I'm an independent American voter, and I'm saying no, but even as a liberal, even as a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, over the time that's gone on, I more have seen Trump as like, oh, he's a jokester. You know what I mean? Like as time has progressed, now I'm all reminded of all the fucking batshit crazy this motherfucker is.
Good.
Right?
You're a libtard. So
well,
you're
look,
gonna...
but I think that will stand true with the American people.
The real point here is, will it actually move the needle for him in a significant way with independent voters, which tended to favor the Democratic Party in the midterm elections? At a time when the economy was worse than it is now, because inflation has cooled down a little bit, will we have that soft landing? It may be. You know what I mean? It's just entirely dependent on what happens to the economy in the upcoming year and a half. But having said that, Donald Trump has a lot of negatives now working against him. He is very much a part of the system. So it's a little bit harder for him to, as a former president, make himself seem like the independent candidate that came out of nowhere. That you should, you know...
fighting against the establishment.
Fighting against the establishment. That you
draining the swamp. He became the swamp. He became what he was fighting against. And he is the establishment.
Yeah.
And he was like the underdog, the outsider. He's no longer the outsider anymore, which is what he struggled with in 2020.
Yeah. People were willing to you know, bet on him. Especially against Hillary Clinton, who is the face of this rigid establishment.